Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. Here are the stories that we're following today, August 5th, 2013. In international news, police kill armed 14-year-old boy on New York City street. Vendors recount deadly hit and run at Los Angeles boardwalk. In Boston, lawyers to sum up testimony in Bulger's murder trial finale. Iran and U.S. signal will to engage as new president is sworn in. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Hey, excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. It's your boy Wyclef Jean, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. A rookie police officer shot and killed a 14-year-old boy on a street early Sunday after he refused to drop his gun and pointed it at them, authorities said. Shaliver Deuce died of a single gunshot to his jaw after the confrontation in the Melrose section of the Bronx. Two officers with the New York Police Department were on foot patrol when they heard gunfire at around 3 a.m. The officers responded to the scene and found the boy with a 9mm handgun firing shots at a fleeing man. The officers identified themselves as police and ordered him to drop his weapon. When he pointed his gun at them, one of the officers shot him. Deuce was pronounced dead at the scene. The two officers had joined the department in January. Deuce had been in trouble with the law before. He was charged in May with attempted murder after a 15-year-old boy was shot in a Browns neighborhood where Deuce lived. That shooting took place 2 miles from where Deuce was later shot to death. Deuce was also charged with assault, criminal possession of a weapon, and menacing in connection to the incident. The prosecution of Deuce was then deferred, said Stephen Reed, a spokesman for the Bronx District Attorney's Office. The office had insufficient evidence to proceed and the victim was unable to identify his shooter, he said. The case was still open, Reed said. In LA, 1 minute, Mustafa Balchi was sitting in a lawn chair next to his wife at their booth on the Venice Beach boardwalk, enjoying the leisurely summer scene. The next minute, the couple was lying on the ground along with the other injured after a man accelerated his large black car through a crowd, hitting one person after another as people tried desperately to get out of the way. Saturday's hit and run killed an Italian woman on her honeymoon and hurt 11 others who only a moment earlier had been enjoying a late afternoon near the beach at the height of vacation season. Balchi's boot was struck within seconds of the start of the rampage. The car swerved left, side-sweeping a picnic table holding the couple's wares, the traditional Turkish blue glassware of the eye to ward off the evil eye, and wall hangings of Jesus and the Virgin Mary tapestries. The car hit 3 customers looking at the items and slammed into Balchi's knees, pushing him backward, breaking a table and smashing a mirror and scattering everything. His wife, Yasim Balchi, was flung 8 feet, tumbling backward and landing face down. By the time it was over, the driver had covered about a quarter of a mile along the boardwalk before speeding away. The entire incident was over in minutes. Balchi, 44, was helped up by strangers who took him over to his wife. The couple were taken along with 3 others to the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and treated for minor injuries and released. Yazim Balchi, 48, had her ankle taped up, blood seeping through the back and bruises all over her body. On Sunday, she couldn't raise her left arm. Authorities arrested a man on suspicion of murder several hours after the hit and run. Nathan Louis Campbell, 38, of Los Angeles, walked into a police station in neighboring Santa Monica and said he was involved. He remained jailed on Sunday on $1 million bond. Lawyers in the trial of former mobster James Whitey Bulger today will sum up 8 weeks of testimony from former hitmen, FBI agents, smugglers, and extortion victims about a string of murders blighting Boston's past. The closing arguments come after Bulger's denounced his murder and racketeering trial as a sham on Friday and refused to testify in a case that captured national attention, recalling a bygone era when mobsters toting machine guns left a trail of unsolved killings as they fought for control of the criminal underworld. Since the beginning of the trial on June 12th, prosecutors have sought to paint Bulger, once one of America's most feared gangsters, as a hands-on killer who participated in 19 slayings when he ran Boston's Winter Hill Gang in the 1970s and the 1980s. While Bulger has pleaded not guilty, his attorneys conceded at the start of the trial that he had been involved in extortion, smuggling, and loan sharking. But they point out that many of the witnesses against him were ex-criminals with plea deals and that FBI evidence against Bulger may be tainted by corruption and mismanagement. Massachusetts prosecutors said on Friday they believe the death of a potential witness in Bulger's trial last month was unrelated to the case. They said the man who claimed Bulger had stolen his liquor store from him apparently had been poisoned by a business associate who acted alone. Iran and the United States signaled a fresh will on Sunday to seek to end the dispute over Tehran's nuclear program after Hassan Rouhani was sworn in as president and called for dialogue to reduce antagonism and aggression. Hopes for a diplomatic resolution increased with Rouhani's win over conservative rivals in June, when voters replaced hardliner Mohammad Ahmadinejad with a cleric whose watchword is moderation, but who is still very much an Islamic Republic insider. And I quote, "The only way for interaction with Iran is dialogue on an equal footing, confidence building and mutual respect, as well as reducing antagonism and aggression," Rouhani told Parliament after taking his oath of office. "If you want the right response," he says, "don't speak with Iran in the language of sanctions, speak in the language of respect." Within hours, the U.S. said it was ready to work with Rouhani's government if it was serious about engagement. The inauguration of President Rouhani presents an opportunity for Iran to act quickly to resolve the international community's deep concerns over Iran's nuclear program, White House spokesman Jay Carney said in a statement. Should this new government choose to engage substantively and seriously to meet its international obligations and find a peaceful solution to this issue, it will find a willing partner in the U.S. Iran's critic says it has used previous nuclear negotiations as a delaying tactic while continuing to develop nuclear weapons-related technology, something Tehran denies. Signaling both his wish to get straight down to work and a likely willingness to engage with the United States, Rouhani immediately presented a list of cabinet nominees to the parliament speaker that included Iran's former ambassador to the UN, Mohammad Javad Zarif, as foreign minister. Parliament must approve the proposed ministers before they can take office, and the Speaker said the Assembly would review the nominees in the next week. Zarif is a respected diplomat involved in negotiations with the U.S. since the 1980s and well known to top U.S. officials including Vice President Joe Biden and Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel. You're watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
The Haverman say it's all about the food. August the 10th. Foreigners welcome to the land of oil dung. Beers and strong rum, girls hot and can done.
Tell them it's how we there. Tell them it's how we there. Tell them it's how we there. Master we all and care. Tell them it's how we there. Tell them it's how we there. Tell them it's how we there. They. When I drink it, I'm ringing iron. So we there. I'm beating public.
It's all about the food. Oil dung fest. August 10th. Lamperman in the place.